Hi, everyone. I wanted to hop on and share something that's been on my mind lately. In the last couple of months, I've been pulled into four different teams, different companies, different industries, all facing a similar challenge. On paper, these teams are brilliant. They're individually high performing, they're strategically aligned, everyone seems ready for 2026. But beneath the surface, there are these cracks that have started to show. We often talk about organizational change in terms of the org charts, the tech stacks, the processes that we need to adopt. But we sometimes forget that change can be a stress test for human relationships. And right now, many teams are feeling the strain. So, what's kind of behind all of this? Sometimes it's change fatigue, where we have constant restructure or constant change in direction can just be exhausting to keep up with. Sometimes one set of relationships is having a knock-on effect on other relationships. I recently worked with a team where the leader had disregarded a colleague's personal crisis to hit a business outcome. And that didn't just hurt one person, the whole team felt it. They started shielding each other. They started questioning who they could trust, who they could rely on. And in this case, the foundation shifted for everyone and not just the person who had originally been harmed. We're seeing that many teams are so focused on just that, right? Speed and pushing through that mentality that they're skipping the foundational work of actually talking to each other. In our latest article, we actually explore how to address this, but I want to leave you with two quick shifts that you can try to make today. So the first one is we can try to diagnose appropriately. We don't have to guess why our teams are stalling and what's going on. We can actually ask them. I like to use questions like, of all the norms and the systems that help us collaborate, which part of our foundation feels most strained right now? It helps to expand the focus from just who is the problem to how we can fix the system. The goal is to help unpack what we may be missing in terms of process, norms, skills, all that would help us address the issues that may crop up when there's a lot of change or even some tension or conflict amongst team members. The second thing is that we as leaders and, myself as a facilitator coming into a situation, we need to read the room. And sometimes that means learning to scrap the planned agenda. So if you walk into a meeting and the tension is preventing people from engaging meaningfully, it's okay to pivot. Sometimes the most productive thing that you can do is to pause the clock and to think about how you create a safer space to let discontent be heard. I've had a couple of recent sessions where we had planned one thing, we wanted to come in and do some action planning. And in real time, we shifted to using anonymous post-it notes or doing smaller breakout group discussions, all to allow more people to have the safety needed to begin to express themselves. So you don't always have to stick to the plan if that plan is not going to be the most effective in the moment. So those are two quick tips. The goal with all of this isn't to have a conflict-free zone at work. That isn't realistic. We're people, we change, conflict. Some of the times these are just part of engaging with each other. That said, we can help build teams that feel safe enough to be braver, right? To catch the impact of conflict and change fatigue before it becomes a bigger performance issue. We've put together a full piece on this where we share more of these stories and some specific diagnostic questions for your next session. Click the link to read more, and if you're noticing these small cracks in your own team, let's chat.